Hello viewers, welcome to Science TV 1 PM News with me, Edna Kaindi, and that is my sign name. I'm a sign language interpreter doing the voicing Irene Chibiwot. Let's focus on our news. President William Ruto has issued a strong directive on the full payment of music royalties, signaling his administration's commitment to supporting the creative industry. Speaking at the 97th National Music Festival, the president voiced his support for a recent court decision on royalty payments and their integration into the government's e-citizen platform. This move aims to eliminate middlemen and ensure artists receive their rightful share of earnings. The president's address came during a vibrant festival showcasing Kenya's diverse musical traditions from the northern and central regions to the taarab rhythms of the coast. He declared that the government would no longer tolerate cartels that have been siphoning off musicians' earnings.
Kenya Copyright Board is now enforcing the requirement of 70% of royalties to go directly to artists, and that non-compliance will lead to loss of licenses for those who are involved. I further direct the board to implement a digital royalties system on the e-citizen platform without delay, even if it requires legislative changes. The latest judicial decision upholding the direct payment of skiza earnings to musicians, cutting out middlemen as the new law requires. However, we have noticed in the past that the artists end up with a short end of the stick. It is now provided in law that up to 52% should be paid to the artists, not 30%.
Kericho Governor Eric Mutai has rejected a vote by the county assembly to impeach him, claiming the process was illegitimate and lacked transparency. The governor's remarks come after 33 of 47 members of the county assembly, MCAs, voted on Friday to support a motion for his removal from office. In a press briefing in Kericho, Governor Mutai dismissed the impeachment motion as predetermined and insisted that no fair vote had taken place. He argued that the process was manipulated and described the voting as irregular. The governor also raised concerns about the use of an SMS-based system for the vote, questioning its transparency. He suggested that a physical count of the 47 MCAs would have been a more legitimate and transparent method.
Order, you don't direct us. I've never given you an opportunity to read your standing orders. You just read your standing orders on the number of voting. Order, there is no noise.
Moving on, Patriotic Front leader Kalonzo Musyoka has issued a strong warning against the potential sale of the Kenya Pipeline Company, KPC, cautioning both the government and prospective investors. Speaking at a traditional wedding ceremony in Chuka, Mr. Musyoka stated that the opposition would reclaim the strategic state corporation if any privatization deal were to proceed. He argued that KPC, a critical national asset, cannot be auctioned off under the guise of privatization. The former vice president's remarks come amid ongoing public debate and legal challenges regarding the government's plan to privatize several state-owned enterprises. A recent court order has temporarily halted the planned sale of KPC shares following a petition filed by the Consumers Federation of Kenya.
We want to tell any investor, because kutoka sasa kwenda uchaguzi na ukuja in 2027 ni 1 year na miezi 11. Ukijaribu kununua mali ya umma kwa njia isiyoeleweka bila parliamentary oversight proper, because hiyo yenu Robert ya Tuesday is not proper. First of all, mahakama imetoa a court order. You cannot even begin to discuss it on Tuesday. Itakuwa ni kinyume cha katiba, itakuwa meharibu sheria nchi hii, and Chief Justice mwenyewe aliongea juu ya mambo haya na wale wengine na judges wengine. So we need our country to be a country kwanza under God and chini ya ulinzi wa katiba. Katiba, you can't negotiate it. It is too late, Mr. Ruto. It is too late, you intending investor, ukitaka kununua mali ya umma alafu ununue sahihi kiholela, in 2 years time tutakwambia chukua mali yako.
Twenty-two of the victims of last week's tragic road accident on the Kisumu-Kakamega Road were laid to rest on Saturday as families and leaders called for urgent action to address the dangerous stretch of highway. An interdenominational funeral service was held at Naki Primary School, where the family members and community leaders gathered to bid a final farewell to their loved ones. Speakers at the service paid tribute to the deceased and called on the government to redesign the accident-prone section of the road. They highlighted the frequent accidents that have occurred on the route and emphasized the need for better road safety measures to prevent future tragedies. The leaders stressed that the community should not have to endure such devastating losses due to hazardous road design. The Kenya Meteorological Department has issued a heavy rainfall advisory, warning of intense downpours and associated risks across the country starting Sunday. According to the advisory released on Friday, August 15th, rainfall in parts of the Lake Victoria Basin, Rift Valley, and the highlands west of the Rift Valley is expected to intensify to over 20 mm in 24 hours. The rains are projected gradually spread eastwards to the central and eastern highlands. The weatherman's forecast indicates that the heavy rains will continue until Tuesday, August 19th, with a gradual decrease in intensity from Wednesday, August 20th. The advisory also warns of potential flash floods, lightning strikes, strong winds, and damage to property. On to our last news. Following a high-stakes summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska, U.S. President Donald Trump has stated that he, along with the leaders of Russia and Ukraine, has determined a peace agreement is preferable to a ceasefire in the ongoing conflict. In a post of Truth Social, the president said a full peace agreement will be the best way to end the horrific war, arguing that ceasefires often times do not hold up. The remarks came after Trump and Putin concluded their meeting in Alaska on Friday without a final deal. After departing Alaska, President Trump held a phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who later confirmed he would travel to Washington, D.C. on Monday. Trump described the meeting with Putin as having made great progress, but said they didn't get there on a final deal. We're going for a commercial break and we'll be back with sports news.